talk to you a little bit about what actually happened on October 14th of 2007. I don't know that I've ever even told you this story.
October 14th, 2007 is when you discovered the theology of the body?
Yes.
And what happened?
It's when the Lord planted this deep desire in my heart. So, but I thought I'd talk to you a little bit about this, and then this isn't something I've ever really talked about publicly, because most of my stuff is on discerning marriage. But I think that people who are young and single, this is one of those big things, especially in this culture of swiping.
It's huge, not only for young and single.
Yes,
I mean,
that's true. That's
I've been
fair.
married 26 years, and
That's fair.
I'm still wrestling with issues here.
There you go.
Especially when you're getting wrinkles and age spots and gray hair. And look at these jowls. I didn't used to have these jowls in my neck. Like pretty soon I'm going to have that gobble, gobble, gobble.
Thank
So
you to God.
yeah, we've been formed and shaped by image after image after image after image in the media. It says you got to look like this, and if you don't look like this, you're not lovable.
Right.
And when you believe that lie, you cannot, I cannot accept the idea that I'm unlovable.
Right.
But if I believe the idea that looking a certain way makes me unlovable, then I can't possibly ever look that way, because I can't deal with the conclusion that I'm unlovable.
Right.
Whereas all the while, there's a lie that I haven't yet looked at that would liberate me from this oppression, which is, I am lovable, however I look.
Right.
Right?
Right.
So that's one kind of angle on this.
Yeah, I think it's great. So I'm just going to tell you the story and we'll see where it goes.
Yes.
How about that? Okay, so my friends and I were in the dorm room and just hanging out. I'd been in college for like, I don't know, 6 weeks or something. All new, fresh friends, right? And so we were in there, we were watching YouTube videos. And one of my friends pulled up this Dove video. So Dove still does this campaign, the campaign for Real Beauty.
Real Beauty sketch?
Yeah.
Or the beauty, what is it?
The campaign for Real Beauty.
Campaign for Real Beauty.
Yeah.
You're not talking about the Dove beauty sketches though, are you?
So, I'm
Is that
talking
the
about
video
one that
you-
was really big in
Okay,
2007.
sorry.
This was a long time ago. There's lots of them out there now, and gosh, I love that Dove does this. The one that I saw in 2007 was this woman who came in for a photo shoot, and they're doing her makeup. It's like a fast clip thing, you know, the span of time condensed.
Oh
right?
yeah, I know this one.
Yeah. So they're putting makeup on her, and they take pictures. And then they take these pictures and they put them on a computer
and then
they're like D. And then it takes that picture and puts it on a billboard, and it shows these two young girls walking and looking at it.
Yeah.
So just a very small bit about this piece of my story that I've never really shared publicly. So I was a competitive dancer in high school, and through that culture, the dance culture, I developed an eating disorder. And so I was like in the throes of this eating disorder.
I did not know this.
Yeah. YouTube,
So can you shine a light on this though? And this is important. I mean, because there are people out here watching these videos who are struggling with this.
Yeah.
Can you walk us through what was it that? I mean, do you remember the first time where you went in the direction of I'm not going to eat something in an unhealthy way? Was that what the eating disorder was?
Yeah. Yeah.
And
There was like
I need to be thin.
For
I need to be
but-
thin as a dancer. Or?
Yeah, so I did this particular type of competitive dance that everyone had to look the same. Like, I mean, and I'm talking like we would all have to part our hair on the same side, even if it wasn't your natural part. We would all wear these like curly bun things. We would do a bun and a curly bun, so even though everyone's hair was a different thickness, they all looked the same. So like we were all trying to look the same, and as you can appreciate, that's just not the human experience, right? And so
nor is it meant to be.
No, and I don't think that I was particularly overweight, but I think, like, objectively speaking, but every little piece of my body then became under scrutiny because of the costumes, and you have to fit in these costumes, and like if you try on this costume and it doesn't fit, you have to like get the next size up. And like, okay, hold on, wait, like let's pull this other one. So like just that was all around. And I had some friends, my closest friend at the time also had one. And so, and I think that's where I kind of got the idea. But it was this desire to be really thin so that I could like blend in, look the same as everybody else, wear these costumes.
Was it in this context that you discovered John Paul's Theology of the Body?
So I watched that video. I'm fresh in college, right? The Dove video, fresh in college. I'd known these people for like 5 minutes. Right. So they didn't know nobody knew my story. And there's something about college that you can like recreate yourself and be whoever you want to be. So I vividly remember being like, I am going to accept Frisbee invitations because I want to be athletic when I go to college, right? So I was like, I'm going to build these images of whatever. Those came crumbling down and I was myself and I had friends and it was beautiful and I found a husband and it worked out. But at the time I was very like, who do I want to be and how do I get there, right? I was very much behind these masks. Watch this video. It was like scales fell from my eyes. I was like, this ideal that I've been searching for doesn't even exist.
Right.
That woman doesn't exist.
Right.
It was just this profound revelation, watching them take the picture of this woman, who was beautiful, by the way, and change it, like morph it and put that picture up. That's not a real human. Some artist could have created that for all the effect that it was. You know, she wasn't real. And so it just was this, I saw myself in those two girls looking up at this billboard, comparing myself to these things that aren't real. Like her neck was really long. That's not how long. Anyways, so it was just this very stark realization. And I was, again, we said this in the other video, so I don't want to go into it, but like in my memories of the conversations processing that, I don't even think I told them I had an eating disorder at the time, but the processing of like, oh my gosh, like all of this perception of femininity, it's not real, we have these standards. And so for me, it was comparison, but I also was given the awareness of like, for men, it's this seeking this unrealistic ideal. And I know some women struggle with body image stuff as it relates to like finding a mate or whatever. For me, again, it was more from the dance culture, but it's all the same end result. And so I was just like very struck in that moment. It was a very grace-filled moment of that men and women are both being really harmed by this idea. And that was when, in my memory, when I think back, it was like tongues of fire fell. And I was like the Holy Spirit is here. I have spent my entire life telling people about authentic femininity and how the Lord can reveal the truth about how men and women can draw each other closer to heaven or pull each other away. And having realistic expectations for our humanity and our bodies is critical. That's all I had. So I didn't actually hear about Theology of the Body until I took my very loud personality and started telling all my new friends in college about this dream I had. Again, I wasn't authentic. Like no one knew about my struggles, but I was like men and women and masculinity and femininity and D. And my friend, Oscar McConnell, was like, that sounds like Theology of the Body on November 2nd. So it was a couple weeks later. But he was like, have you ever heard of Theology of the Body? And I was like, no, what is that? And then he gave me one of your books.
Cool.
And then fast forward, that same group of friends morphed and we were like, let's do a book club on this. And so in the spring semester, we started a book club that grew really big. And yeah, we studied TOB. But it was this recognition of my own broken femininity and the fact that broken femininity is affecting the world that led me to Theology of the Body. That was my like gateway.
This hits really close to home for me. The way this culture of the perfect idealized image of what a woman is supposed to look like and what a man is supposed to look like. It hits very close to home to me because raised in this culture, I was warped by these ideas, what a woman is supposed to look like in particular. Also, I mean, that'd be another story, what a man is supposed to look like and my insecurities there. That's maybe another video, but the way it affected me, you know, the image of a woman is when I met Wendy, and this like kills me even to say it, but I'm gonna say it because I know I'm not the only one who's been warped in this way. When I met Wendy, we were dear friends for 3 years before it ever turned into something more than that, because I never considered her somebody I'd want to date during that time because she didn't fit the image I had that had been seared in my mind as to what a woman is supposed to, how she's supposed to appear or be or whatever. And I mean, I could weep at the thought that had I remained stuck in those lies, thanks be to God, grace was at work. And it's been a journey, but grace has been at work to really take the blinders off my eyes. But had I remained in that blindness, I would have missed out on the love of my life. And I know I get emails a lot. I get this question a lot. Comes into our podcast a lot that Wendy and I do. People who like the person, like they enjoy hanging out, but they're not, quote, attracted. There's no, quote, spark there. Well, that hits close to home for me because of what Wendy and I went through. And I remember getting to a point in our dating relationship where the scales were falling off my eyes and I was seeing her beauty in a whole new way. And when you see someone's beauty in a whole new way, when those scales fall off your eyes, not only do you see the person's beauty in a whole new way, you also see how blind you have been in a whole new way.
Yeah.
And that is like a double-edged sword. If you were raised in this culture, like I was, like you were, we got wounds, we got issues. Yeah. And in the words of Jesus, we look, but we do not see. Theology of the body can be a huge help here to helping us open our eyes.
Yep.